Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you a few things you want to keep around, whether you're a studio photographer or a location photographer. These little pieces of grip are going to make your life a lot easier. So, done a few of these. You guys keep DMing me and keep doing it with questions and more ideas. So I figured I'd take some time in the studio today to go over a few more pieces of equipment that I use a lot. Some of it is going to be pretty simple, like the first thing I'm starting with. This is probably the most common clamp that you might use as a photographer. This is the bony clamp or A clamp, right? This is basically a regular spring clamp. You can get them at hardware stores. You can get them at photo stores. You can basically find these everywhere. And if you look at any of my videos, you see any stuff I do, you see that I clip paper with it, you see I clip clothes with it, you see I clip cards with them. So you want to keep these around. They can range anywhere from like $1 all the way up to $10. I mean, I've seen them pretty expensive. Usually in that case, what you're paying for is how strong they are. Really kind of strong ones tend to be a little more expensive, the more heavy duty ones. That's not always the case, but generally, and what you want to do really is, there's no right or wrong here. I think you want to keep a variety of different sizes and also different strengths. I don't want to put my really, really tough one that's hard to squeeze on a piece of clothing that might tear, and I don't want to put a really weak one on a cardboard I'm holding because it will fall over. So having a mix is going to be good. This is like your standard size. I probably would start with a half dozen of these and go from there. Easy as that. A clamps, got to have them in your kit. You must use these, I'm guessing. Leave some comments. Let me know how you guys use these beyond the kind of what I'm saying. Yeah. Now, if you're not, if you haven't been a studio photographer and haven't been in studios a lot, or maybe you're just starting, you may not have seen this one, but if you have, you probably have seen it because it's probably one of the most common pro clamps that photographers and videographers and stuff use, and that is the super clamp. So, super clamp is basically it's about a 2-inch or so span that it can hold. Like you can see, you can hold like a pipe. It also, some of them come with this little device that you stick inside, which allows you to use it on flat surfaces, right? So that's pretty useful for like a tabletop or something. You can clamp right there. They come with different handles. There's lots of things you can put inside of them, but what makes the super clamp super is that instead of just a regular kind of 5/8 stud, which you can put in there, it has a hex, right? So the hex stud is going to basically allow you, when you put something on this, to not twist, right? There's gonna be no torque coming off of it. So you're not gonna worry about, this part still can, but you don't have to worry about this part turning on you. And also, there's a safety in there. You can see there's a little button on there. If you don't pull that button, even if you had it upside down, it's not gonna fall, right? This is made for a pro set. And of course you tighten it when you're actually using it, which is the right way to do it. But nothing's gonna fall out of this thing. They're really good. They hold around 20 pounds-ish, so they're good for most things, right? Super useful, super clamp. Another kind of more common thing that you might see around that maybe you hadn't thought about using for photo is what we like to call C47. So C47 is a clothespin basically. Now, you wanna get wooden ones because you're gonna use them around heat, and plastic ones can melt, and you don't want to get metal ones because you might burn yourself, right? So the wooden ones are the way to go. So keep a lookout for them. I know they're harder to find actually than the plastic ones for sure if you go to like a generic store, but I'll put a link. I'll find some and put a link. These are great for holding gels. They're great for clipping clothes. They're great for clipping cables. You can actually, like tape a couple together and make special clamps and angles. And I've used these for so many things I can't even name, especially for small type tabletop photography. But I keep some in my bag just for anything because they're just super useful. If you get out in the rain and you have to hang your clothes up and dry them, you got clothespins, right? So, yeah, super worth having. C47, you can actually take it apart and flip it the other way so that the skinny part becomes the clip. Then they call it a C74. It's a little bit of a stronger pinch for tighter areas. Maybe I'll do a quick little video about how to do that, but that'll be a different video. So those are all kind of items, maybe if you've been in photography a little while, you've probably seen. The next two things, maybe not so much. These are kind of more specialized, but I always keep them because when you need them, they are just amazing to have. The first thing is a ceiling scissor clamp. So basically what this does is you're gonna go into an office, let's say, with a drop ceiling. You put that guy in there, you squeeze it shut, now it's grabbing the drop ceiling. Obviously you don't put it in the weak part, you put it where it's strong. Now you've got a 5/8 stud. 5/8 stud is standard for photo lights and stuff, so you can hang a light in the ceiling, right? So let's say you're doing an interview with somebody in their office and there's not a lot of space. They're like near a wall. You can hang it up on top, do a little hair light from above, really simple. You can put multiple ones in there to string the cable across so it's not dangling down. I use these a lot for time-lapse photography. I have a little rig. Yeah, I'll do a video on that, I think. If you guys want to see, let me know in the comments if you want to see my time-lapse rig where I turn this into like a little tripod and I show you how to do a time-lapse with it. Let me know if that's worth doing. But really useful for that. Ceiling scissor, you know, you don't need to have a ton of these around, but a few in your bag will make life a lot easier when you need them. This next thing is, if you saw when I was talking about Apple boxes and I was saying you can drill stuff into it, one of the things I drill into my Apple boxes is a baby plate, right? This is a baby plate, and the reason why it's called a baby plate is because it has a baby stud. Now, baby isn't the length, baby is the size, right? It's 5/8 is baby, so standard for most photo lights. They come in different lengths, 3-inch, 6-inch, I think this one is 12-inch. They come with a bend in them. They come with doubles coming off of it. They come with they come with female, so you could like put it on the wall and then put a super clamp into it or something like that. So they come in a lot of different ways, if that makes sense. These are worth keeping around. I've had many situations where I've like drilled them into 2x4s and then taken really big A-clamps and clamped the 2x4s to stuff. I've built all kinds of stuff with it. You can turn them upside down, put something on top, put it on your C-stand to make a table. They're just crazy, crazy useful and not that expensive. I almost see these as an expendable though, because as much as this one's gotten beaten and I've kept it for a while, and sometimes that you end up losing them because like I've actually permanently epoxied them to like mirrors and things. So, and they're not that expensive, like I said. So pick up a few of these. These are, actually it has a 6-inch on it. These are really affordable things to have around. Baby plate. I'll put some links to the various ones so you don't have them to scout all around in the internet to the various types of plates because they are really useful. Typically, if you're just getting grip to get it, I would probably pick up like a 6-inch or whatever. I wouldn't buy too many until you need them. Normally, hopefully, you'll know a little bit in advance that you might need them for something and you end up collecting them on jobs. That's usually what I do, and then you build a client for it. So anyways, that's 5 more things that I think are really useful. Let me know if this is helpful. Let me know how you guys use these things. Do you use any? Is there anybody who uses all of these things? Is there anybody who's never used any of them, right? I'd be curious. Leave some comments in the description, ring the bell, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.